歡迎乘搭機場快線，祝各位有一個愉快嘅旅程。歡迎乘搭。
Hi guys, my name is Lynn. Thanks for watching. So I just came back from Singapore last weekend, which was really great, and I'm going to be going to London this next week actually, just in like 4 days time, so I'm really counting down on that. And also going to be going to Scotland whilst I'm there, and I'm also going to go back to Singapore sometime after that, and I'm also going to be going to the US after that as well. So basically I have like quite a lot of travel in my foreseeable future, and so I decided that I will share sort of like some of my in-flight travel hacks with you, because you know, flying is really stressful, and honestly, especially if you're seated in econ class like I am most of the time, I think every little bit of comfort really makes a difference. So without further ado, let's go into hack number 1. So one of the things that I started doing about a year ago was that I started using roll-on hand carries, and I find that it's really useful because for me I carry a lot of electricals. I have my laptop, my iPad, maybe a camera, a book, etc, etc. So if I carry it on my shoulder the whole time, it gets really tiring. Whereas if you have a roll-on hand carry, then you can actually pop those inside your hand carry, and then just before you get on the plane, then you can move it into your handbag, and then you can pop like the almost empty hand carry onto the into the in-flight overhead compartment. Either that, or what you can also do is that it's also really handy because if you're too lazy to like move stuff around, you can just pop your handbag on top of the sort of like, you know, near the handlebars, and then you can pull it along, so you don't actually have to like have it on your shoulder and being like a real strain the whole time. So that is like really helpful, and also it means that if you buy a lot when you're overseas, you have an extra bag to kind of bring all the stuff back. So the second thing that I would suggest is sort of on the theme of clothing, and I guess everybody says this, but it's so true, which is wear comfy clothes and wear light layers. Because as you know, the plane can get quite warm sometimes. So what that usually means to me is I'll usually just wear leggings, sort of like a lightweight t-shirt, and I also bring a sweater along with me as well in case I get cold. Definitely, I try not to wear skirts on the plane because that means that I can't cross my legs and I have to be like a little bit more careful with how I sit. So usually pants is definite for me. Tip number 3, also on this theme of clothing, is that I always bring a scarf. So this one is one that I've had for 10 years now. Literally, my uni friends see it and they're like, oh my gosh, I remember when you had this in year 1. So yeah, always bring a scarf. This is like an equivalent of a towel for me. So again, it's like one of those things where if you get cold, you can drape it around, and you can also kind of use it as like a little pillow if you've got a window seat, and you can like pop it up and, you know, take a little nap there. Fourth thing that I always do when I take a flight is I always bring a pair of fresh socks, and I always bring some wet wipes. And so what I do when I get on the flight is I'll actually remove my shoes and remove any socks that I have, and I actually use a wet wipe and clean up my feet, and after that I will then put on my fresh socks. So that way it doesn't stink, and my feet stay warm for the whole duration of the flight. Bringing your own earphones, because it really makes a big difference when you're watching in-flight entertainment, because I think somehow like your eyes are really good at sort of piecing together even like crappy pixelated movies, so long as the sound system is good. So these are just a pair that my friend helped me swipe when he took business class with CX, but I guess you can, so yeah, or you can just buy earphones if you're not quite as cheap as me, but I'm pretty lazy and I'm not a big like sound music buff, so for me these work pretty well. The next thing that I would suggest, again sort of on the comfort level, is to bring some eye shades. I know that a lot of flights, they do give you eye shades during the flight as well, which is great, so you can scab them from the air hostess. But sometimes I usually make sure I bring my own ones, because sometimes you don't really know what's going to be the quality of the ones they give you. Like I know CX, if you're studying economy class, they give you these really flimsy nylon kinds which don't even really block out the sunlight. So I always bring my own, just so that I know that I can be guaranteed like total darkness. Is that I'll bring those sort of like mini face cleansers, and I always make sure that I wash my face just before I get on the plane, i.e. in the bathroom in the airport, because I don't really like using aeroplane bathrooms because they're always really tiny And I read this, like, you know, one of those BuzzFeed articles which said sort of like how many germs are in the water in the plane. So I don't really trust it, and that's why they always say that, oh, not safe for drinking for that reason. So the day before I fly, I make sure that I upload all the entertainment that I want into all my electronic devices. So I make sure I've downloaded all the books to Kindle, I make sure I've downloaded all the Spotify songs onto my iPhone, I make sure that I've sort of like got all the movies or TV shows that I want to watch on my iPad. You know, I set everything up, and so that when I'm actually on the plane, I'm not like, oh crap, you know, the Spotify song is actually not downloaded, it's actually on the cloud somewhere and I can't access it on the plane, etc, etc. So get your entertainment all in a row the night before. Very important if you don't want to be stuck being really bored watching really crappy TV shows on the in-flight entertainment. So before I get off the flight, I always use my phone and I switch on the torchlight mode. So I always switch on the torchlight mode to actually check my surroundings to make sure that I didn't leave anything on the plane. And I tell you, like, how many times I've actually like realized that, oh, I dropped like a $2 note here, or like, you know, a pen had rolled out of my bag when it was underneath the seat, or whatever it is. Yeah, this torchlight is really handy, and it's actually something that I do for movie shows as well. I mean, you look like kind of weird like shining a torchlight everywhere, but when you pick up stuff that you might otherwise have left behind, like, this is really, really handy. So that's it for my in-flight travel hacks. I hope you found this useful. I think I'll be doing a couple more travel. I think I'll be doing another video on travel planning tips soon, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Bye guys!